Imagine a world with no cities, no roads, no phones, no internet, no names, only fire, sky, bone, and survival. Long before humans built civilizations, before we wrote words on paper, before we etched our thoughts into the digital cloud, there were others. They walked like us, breathed like us, bled like us, but they were not us. They were Neanderthals. For centuries, we called them cavemen, brutes, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Neanderthals were an extinct species of archaic humans. They lived in Europe and parts of Asia from about 400,000 years ago until just 40,000 years ago. That's over 350,000 years of survival through fire, ice, hunger, and death. They weren't mindless savages. They were resourceful, skilled. They built tools from stone, wood, and bone, Mousterian tools as we call them now. Sharp-edged scrapers, hand axes, points for spears. Tools designed with purpose. They crafted pitch, a natural glue from birch bark, proof that they understood fire-based chemistry long before modern science did. They used this glue to attach spear points. That's engineering. They lived in small, tight-knit groups, caring for the sick and elderly, some of whom lived for years with disabilities. You don't do that unless you feel something, unless you understand the bond of community. In caves across Europe, we found signs of culture. Red ochre pigments used on bones, beads made from shells and animal teeth, and most striking of all, burial sites where Neanderthals laid their dead to rest, sometimes with tools, sometimes with flowers. They mourned. They were not just flesh and muscle, they had soul. And then, we came. Homo sapiens, our ancestors, emerged from Africa and entered their world around 70,000 years ago. What followed was one of the greatest turning points in human history. The meeting of two intelligent species. It wasn't always war. We didn't just fight them. We loved them. Today, almost every non-African person on Earth carries between 1 to 2% Neanderthal DNA. That means they live in us, in our bones, our blood, our breath. They whispered into our genes, and we carry their echo. But they didn't survive. The last known Neanderthals vanished around 40,000 years ago in places like the cliffs of Gibraltar. What caused their end? Was it us? Were they outcompeted by smarter, more adaptable Homo sapiens? Or did climate change, the great shaper and breaker of species, turn against them? Perhaps a combination, perhaps something else, a volcanic winter, a disease we brought? We may never know. What we do know is this: they didn't die in a single battle. They faded, slowly, quietly, generation after generation, until the fires in their caves went cold. But this isn't where the story ends. In 2010, a finger bone found in a Siberian cave revealed yet another branch of humanity, the Denisovans, close relatives of Neanderthals. Another piece of our human puzzle. In 2022, scientists found a child's Neanderthal tooth in France, still carrying signs of ancient diseases unknown to science. The past still speaks. You just have to dig deep enough to hear it. And the more we dig, the more we realize they were not just like us. In many ways, we are them. They taught us more than we know. Our ability to adapt to cold, Neanderthal genes, our immune system, shaped by their legacy, even aspects of our skin, hair, and brain structure, passed down from a people lost to time. But perhaps the most important thing they gave us was a mirror, to remind us that being human was never a one-species story. We were part of a family tree, with branches we broke and others we forgot. And maybe, just maybe, their extinction is a lesson. Because in a world threatened by war, climate collapse, and division, we too could fall, just as they did. They survived ice ages, saber-toothed cats, volcanoes, and famine. But not us. They didn't vanish because they were weak. They vanished because history is cruel, and because sometimes evolution doesn't reward the strongest, only the luckiest. They were here. They laughed, they hunted, they wept, they loved. And in the end, They were forgotten until now, because as long as we remember, as long as we speak their name, Neanderthal, they still live. And we are their last dream.